So hello everybody. Sorry for these pauses at the beginning, but somebody let me know that I was getting cut off. So I'm doing these little pauses at the beginning and at the end. So I'm not going into like kind of a coma there. It's just me pausing. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to use kind of this day as a review for what we've done in Activity One. So Activity One, we've really kind of gone through basic chemistry, some little background information, and then we went through our macromolecules, the structure and the function of each of them, the carbs, the lipids, the proteins, and the nucleic acids. And that's really activity one. And what I mean by activity one is we've really basically gone through a chapter in a textbook. So if you were in a regular classroom, we'd be kind of completing chapter one. So this is a good time to summarize it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to upload you a file. So if you go to content, so here's our regular site, and you're going to click on content. And I don't have it up yet, but right here, so right underneath Activity 1, Assignments 1 to 5, I'm going to be placing a Word document which basically summarizes the key things that I think you need to know from our first chapter or our first Activity 1. Because you know, it's sometimes hard as you're going through being like, well, what exactly do I need to know and to what level of detail? And when I'm doing this portfolio, when it says to look through this website, like how much detail do I need to know? So I kind of want to clarify that for you guys, and then you can ask me questions about that. So what I'm going to upload is basically a bunch of different questions and concepts that I think you need to know. And then tomorrow, in my news feed or probably in a video, I'm going to basically take up all of that stuff. Now, I want you to try it on your own. Some people think, well, you're going to take it up tomorrow. I'm going to wait and just get the answers then. Okay, don't do that. That's not the best way of doing things. You know, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Okay? So I want you to make sure that you attempt to do these questions tonight and go through these concepts and basically create a summary. That's the biggest thing I want you to do. And I don't want to tell you exactly how to do your summary because everybody does it differently. But you have to take that information that we've been learning and basically condense it. Now, this is not something that you're handing in. I know some of you are like, oh, I'm not handing it in. There's no way I'm doing it. Okay, you've got to get around that thinking. That's not the academic way of thinking. It's not the university way of thinking. Okay, only doing good stuff when it counts is not the way of thinking. I know you've been thinking about this through high school as if, well, if it's not getting marked, I'm not doing a good job on it. You have to get around that. Okay, you're too smart to think like that anymore. Okay, I don't do a good job teaching because the principal's over top of me, and then as soon as that principal leaves, I do a crappy job teaching. Okay, and you can't think like that. You want to be that kind of person that does a good job regardless of whether it counts, regardless of whether something's watching you or not. Okay, so that's a key. You really want to change that thinking because when you get into university, you don't get a lot of monitoring. You don't get a lot of people saying, "Are you doing this? Are you doing this?" You have to do it on your own. So you want to do it, and you have to change that way of thinking because you have to do work through university that doesn't get marked. You just have to do it so that you know that information. So we're going to kind of practice that. So I'm getting rid of assignment 4. It said do not enter. I'm just going to completely get rid of that assignment 4 because I want you to spend some time on kind of summarizing that first activity. Now, to give you an example of kind of the difference between, say, a level 3 and a level 4 answer, because everyone probably in this class is looking for level 4, but it's sometimes hard to recognize that, when you're a level 4, you're an elite student in the province. Okay, a level 3 is your average, already smart university kid that's in a university science class. But when you want to get a level 4, you have to be better than average. You have to be exceptionally good in biology. Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference between, say, two answers, what I would consider a level 3 and then a level 4. So here's a question that we have here. Okay, so tell me about this molecule. So I have this molecule right over here, and a question I might ask you is, tell me about this. Okay, now a level 3 answer, in my opinion, the description would be, this is a carbohydrate with hydroxyl functional groups. Okay, you're right. You're exactly right. This is a carbohydrate, and it does have hydroxyl functional groups. Okay? But you're giving me kind of a base answer. Okay? And you're technically right. This is what I would think an average student would be able to tell me. But if you want to get to that level 4, you have to be an exceptionally bright student. And this is what I mean by kind of a level 4 answer. Okay? That this is a carbohydrate. Specifically, it's glucose that contains several hydroxyl functional groups. And I would probably circle the hydroxyl functional groups. And an oxygenal functional group. And here's my oxygen functional group. Okay? These functional groups create polarity, allowing the molecules to dissolve in water, a polar substance. Okay? Now, I know this is a pretty in-depth explanation, but again, this is what I expect out of an elite level biology student, one of the best biology students in the province, and that's what you are when you get a level 4. Okay? So go through the review today. Make sure you ask me any questions that you have, and I'll take up most of the review questions tomorrow. So if it's a question on content, I'll take it up tomorrow, and then after I do my explanation, then you can maybe ask me. Okay. Other than that, have a good day. I'm going to have a little pause at the end here so I don't get cut off, so I'm not kind of going into a little trance here.